thousands of construction workers, laborers, in some cases, even college graduates, they want to leave India and work as construction workers, laborers in Israel. Is it a matter of shame or is it a matter of pride for us Indians? The state of Israel suspended the work permits of thousands of Palestinians after October 7th. And now Indians are queuing up to replace them. Hundreds of Indians are queuing up in lines in frigid cold of Haryana. Why? So that they can leave India, work as carpenters in Israel. The funny part is the government of Haryana is advertising this for taxpayers' money. Haryana government advertised 10,000 positions for construction workers have opened up in Israel. Floor tile fitters, plasterers, such a good opportunity. Not just Haryana government, UP government is also releasing similar advertisements. Not an absolute shame it is for a country like India. So I've said this time and again that we represent India. Our loyalties lie with India. It does not lie with a political party. Only idiots fight on party lines. They fight as if the survival depends upon Congress or BJP or Aam Aadmi Party. These useless political parties will come and go. They will exploit you by giving you the drug of religion, mandir, masjid, charas, ganja of castes. The absolute shame is that how, as Indians, we have even lost our most basic critical thinking. This is the definition of Amrit Kal. What will I do of a $5 trillion economy when there are Hindu-Muslim riots almost on daily basis? And the greatest achievement for an Indian is to leave India. In fact, many in Haryana, UP, they are saying out loud when media asks them that this opportunity in Israel or Vietnam is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them because that's the only way they can leave India. They're dying to leave this country, go into the lands where they would prefer to be treated like a third-class citizen with absolutely zero rights. They would love to work in Israel, Oman, Saudi Arabia, then commit the sin of staying back in India. And what image do you think this will form of Indians? Many in Israel or in other parts of the world, many citizens, they don't travel the world. For them, they will see this as a mass migration. And they will assume that perhaps all Indians are carpenters with tiles. Countries export services, technology, products. But here India wants to export laborers in 21st century. And many dumb-witted brain cells, they will come up with arguments that this will increase India's remittances. How can you so casually ignore the underlying structural issues in India's domestic economy, the unemployment here? And by the way, this over-dependency on remittances is never a long-term good strategy. Look at countries that focus on this, Pakistan. Why? Because the day those countries face global economic fluctuations, who will they blame? They will blame migrants. Whenever they will face internal communal tensions or crimes of any kind, they will blame the outsiders who have no voting rights. They will blame these Indian migrants in these cases. And when that happens, many YouTubers, Instagrammers, foreign policy experts, they will say that now India should fight back, fight with Israel, fight with Australia, fight with every other country in the world. And that's how foreign policy decisions will be taken on Instagram reels or the shade. No one wants to leave their village, their community. No one wants to stay away from their kids. Strange families, strange societies. And here in India, exporting of labors is what we are now promoting as a part of our foreign policy. India did not just sign this agreement with Israel. I think there is a negotiation happening with other countries as well, Taiwan and many other countries. In the long run, this can have disastrous consequences for India. And you will start seeing this global hate against Indians over many foreign lands. Do you see Americans, Australians coming over to India, working as petrol pump operators, carpenters? No, and that is perhaps the reason why in our mind we have a better perception about these countries. Migration should always be a choice. It should never be a necessity. Because when it becomes a necessity, then you will be ready to work as slaves in foreign lands. You will not raise your voice because your country has already abandoned you. There are no opportunities. So you're going there as a slave in a way. So whatever they say, you have to do. Otherwise, go back to your own country. And then your country just takes up taxes, GST when you buy whatever you want to buy, capital gains when you invest something, income tax when you earn something, road tax when you use certain highways. There is no tax on breathing, is it? Do we have it? But then you indirectly pay for it via buying air purifiers. Burgeoning $1 billion industry there for air purifiers because there are people who can't even breathe. Of course, arguments can be made on both sides, but this is not an example of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And migration becomes a necessity, not the choice. It's a shame for India. But yeah, Israel better than UK. Countries like UK, Ireland, Norway, Denmark, you're seeing the collapse of Gulf Stream. Just one current, the reduced intensity of that one current can make and has the potential to make lives of millions of people in Denmark, Norway, UK very uncomfortable. This will impact the agriculture of those regions. It will have consequences for the economy of those regions, from energy costs to cost of food. It looks like India's construction workers in Israel much better placed than the construction workers in UK. So when the decision has to be made, please have that into account, the ocean currents. If the Gulf Stream collapses, and there's a high likelihood that this will happen, there will be more frequent and severe weather events. In the video, it was mentioned that the coastal cities in US, Miami, New York, Boston, they might experience significant sea level rise. There could be chronic flooding. Many areas will become uninhabitable. Of course, we can go on and on about the economic implications, global climate effects, human health risks. And this is just one current, Gulf Stream. That's it. There are many other ocean currents that we'll analyze. But just one current Gulf Stream can have so many consequences. So it looks like if we do not understand the ocean currents, the functioning of it, we perhaps do not deserve to even write this examination. Then how will you possibly conserve India or the world perhaps? So ocean currents are extremely important. And with this, we will start the beginnings of ocean currents.